let's jump into Shericka in that women's 100 meters. Wow. Let me tell you something. You saw me chat? You saw me chat? Me no want hear nobody tell me say me chat foolishness or I don't know what I'm saying or has said cow fat or I'm emotional or this that has said cow fat. Last season I said to y'all, Shericka's start is much better. And I think people are comparing Shericka's start to a Shelly. Shelly is an anomaly. She out there by herself in a one different league with her start. That's her thing. Shericka Jackson from last season, I peeped it. I said from the indoors, she was working on her start from then. But we saw post indoors even before, she got up to, trials where she ran 10.7s, and then going into the world championships. I pointed it out and I said, even those races that she was losing, I said, peep her start. Look at her start. Her start is fantastic. So by the time, she starts to peak, what do you think is going to happen when her top end speed kicks in now and everything just comes together? What do you think is going to happen? Look at the start that Shericka had this evening. Trackies, did you see that start? As far as I'm concerned, to how Shericka pop out of the blocks, I swear to you, I thought she was gonna fall over. She literally just popped right out, and she was ahead from the get-go. I'm like, wow. Now, if you cross-reference that with athletes that you would say, have good starts as well, you saw Kemba Nelson in lane one, getting out good, but Shericka was still ahead of her, and I thought to myself, damn, what time am I gonna see? What time am I gonna see? What time am I gonna see? I called 10.75 before the race. So I was just looking forward to, what type of race, what type of time would I see. I thought midway, like her pickup, and that's a part of her race that I think I've been talking about where I think she can improve. That little pickup segment there took a bit to happen. However, she just accelerated out, and I thought she was going so fast that I don't know if you saw her shouting the race. I think the commentators were saying she was shouting for joy. I don't know if I don't think it looked like that. I think she was just going so fast that she was kind of overcome by her own speed kind of thing, and she was just trying to control herself. But you know, the time 10.78 with everything that I'm looking at, so much room for improvement as well. Knowing that by the time trials comes around, she's gonna be much faster. Um, and I don't think call me crazy, but I don't think Stephanie is probably gonna peak her for trials, because I don't think they need to. They just need to qualify. And as far as I'm concerned, she just needs to turn up and she has qualified. So strangely enough, I'm getting the vibe that she's not gonna peak for trials. So the Shericka that we're seeing now, even though trials is like, a few weeks away, and we're saying, oh, okay, what can she cut it down to by trials? I don't even think that is important. My mind is going, what will they be able to cut it down to for world championships? That's my thought process. So mid 10.7. She ended up with a 10.79, sorry. So I mean, that was pretty spot on, I would say, in my mind. I think I was pretty spot on. But yeah, it was a really, really fantastic run by Shericka. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I love their start even more. And the reason why I'm harping on her start is because I remember last season. I remember last season when I was watching her starts, and she was losing races all the way up to trials. Don't forget, she was losing races all the way up to trials. So if I use that same Shericka and I mirror it with what's happening now, and she's already running 10.78, and the start looks so much better, I'm just going. My mind is being blown right now as it relates to the possibilities. What can she get down to? And I'm praying for that 10.6. I'm hoping she gets down into that 10.6 range, under perfect conditions, perfect execution. I'm hoping it happens. But it look from what I'm seeing now, I definitely see it happening. I definitely see it happening more than ever before. But let me just get into the rest of the results in the race, because other people are in the race as well. Anthony Strong finished second in a time of 10.99 seconds. That's a season's best for her. Shashali Forbes was third in 11.07 seconds. I was happy seeing her come third, because I remember in her previous race where she pulled up. So I was happy seeing that she finished third in such a really good time. Means that whatever happened in the previous race was just something she brushed off and she came again. So I'm happy for that. Kemba Nelson as well finished fourth in 11.10 seconds. That's a season's best for her. And Ashanti Moore was fifth in also that 11.10 seconds. They were separated down to the thousandth of a second. And then the rest. Natasha Morrison. Oh, 11.22. Didn't like her last race, not liking this race. I'm not sure what is happening with Natasha, but I liked what was happening before the last two races, which is this one and the one before. Hopefully things can, come back around for her. But fantastic run by all these ladies. What did I have before as the race? I think I had Shericka, Antonique. I had Tina. Tina is not there. She didn't run. I think I had Celia Bronze, then Sasha Lee Forbes. That's what I had, I think, before. So, this is a pretty good call, I think, by me in this race. So let me take your comments now. Let me hear what you all have to say as it relates to the event. All right, let's start up at the top. Let me scroll back up. Bebas, of course, said Shericka looked good. Yes, she looks so good, but I'm most, as I said, impressed by her start. To me, her start is the most important factor in anything else that happened in this race. Because again, remember, she's not peaked yet. So if the start looks like this, and then they start to shed whatever needs to be shed to get faster, yeah, what's going to happen? And actually, looking at that start, if I should compare Kemba to a Brianna Williams, they pretty much get out good. In the sense that they get out comparable to possibly a Shelly. So if I'm looking at Shericka right now and she got out looking better than Kemba, who has a good start regardless of however the rest of her race happens, or whatever execution happens in the rest of the race, are we looking at a Shericka that can possibly contend with Shelly out of the blocks? And I mean, going through that dry phase, is that a possibility, Track is? I'm really, really wondering right now. The more I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking back to, I'm gonna have to watch the race again. I'm gonna watch the race a few more times, but that thought just popped in my brain. Let me know what you think. Kwesi just got in the meet done, but it was a really, really good meet. The rain fell. We had to wait a bit, but it started on time, ended on time. Great meet. Yeah, you missed everything. You're just gonna have to go. I don't know who I gonna put up them the race upon YouTube still, cause TVJ out for people. But you're just gonna have to see if you can catch the replays on some place. But they were really, really good. Maybe Twitter. If you go over Twitter, you're probably able to see the races. Shericka looked great. She delivered looked smooth and easy. Yes, for sure. Rocky Hill, I'll get to that. I will get to that 1089. My God, we're talking about racers right now. Yeah, I called it 10-7s. 10-7s happen. I was looking for a mid 10-7. I said world lead in my video, but I'll take that 1079. And when I unpack everything in my brain as it relates to me contemplating whether or not they will pick her for trials, I'm now starting to have even greater expectations from, Shericka seeing this run. You know what I mean? Yeah, her start is crazy. Her start has improved drastically. And now I'm having crazy thoughts, as I said. Y'all know I'm hype. I get hyperactive when it comes to track and field. A little crazy sometimes, but yeah. Actually, her time was 1078. Let me go back and look at the official results, because I know it was 1078 and then they rounded it to 1079. So let me look. Let me go back and look. So I'm not talking madness. Okay, it's 1078. Apologies. 1078. Even better. Even better. I'll get to Brian in a moment. Um Are we talking about Shericka Hill? When you said Hill, we'll get to those races. Don Patrick. We can't manage. Where is Tina? I don't know. I heard them saying throughout the meet that a lot of them pulled out as a precautionary measure because of the weather. Um, I don't know. I don't know what how to feel about it, but I'm putting behind my annoyed niggle behind me because I'm so happy with what the results I saw today. So I don't really want to harp on the fact that they didn't turn up. They didn't turn up. It is what it is. I'm moving forward. Um, I'm so disappointed in the events. Which events are you disappointed in? Um, yes, my predictions were close. I said Shericka and Anthony top two. Yeah. That's how it looked based on, what they were running since season. So it was nice to see, it played out to form. If Shericka get out of the blocks with Shelly, then Shelly lose because she can't survive Shericka's top end spin. If it is was Shelly off yesteryear, maybe 20 everything before the 2021 Shelly, I would probably agree with you. But this current Shelly has fixed her top end issue, so I don't necessarily think Shelly loses just like that. I just think it's gonna be a dog fight. Like they're gonna be fighting tooth and nail um for that win. And again, Trackies, let me point out, remember I was saying Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce does not want to run against these athletes because, especially these female, well, obviously she's a female, run against females, but I'm saying run against these top female athletes because they're using her as a rabbit. Now, looking at Shericka's start, I'm sure they don't want to be testing Elite don't want them to be testing Shericka against Shelly before World Championships. I'm sure I've seen it now. I'm even more convinced of my thought process from way back in last year. Remember, I peeped this from last year. Seeing all these events unfold right now, I'm even more convinced. Ain't no way they got Shelly gonna be showing up because guess what? They're gonna see how good it looks against a Shelly, and Shelly's not gonna give them that opportunity.